Attention! This is not material for passive consumption. It is designed to be heard with maximum concentration. The following revelations are direct, potentially disturbing, and may challenge your perceptions. Due to the sensitive nature of the content, its availability may be limited. Your experience on this topic is valuable. Leave it in the comments.
What if you're being controlled by forces you can't even see? Silent manipulators, people who blend into your life, your work, your relationships, are shaping your choices, eroding your autonomy, and you might not even realize it. Hannah Arendt, the philosopher who exposed the banality of evil, warned us about these types, ordinary people who control through obedience, indifference, or silent compliance. That uneasy feeling when someone pressures you to follow, excuses harm, or ignores your boundaries, it's not just discomfort. It's a signal to resist before their manipulation takes over. In this video, we're exposing the 5 silent manipulators Arendt said you must resist to protect your autonomy. Stay with us, because by the end, you'll know how to recognize these threats, take control, and break free from their silent grip. Have you ever been controlled by someone's silence? Let's uncover the truth together. The first silent manipulator is the conformist. Arendt's banality of evil shows how unthinking obedience can enable harm, and conformists embody this by blindly following rules, trends, or leaders, pressuring you to do the same. They don't question, they comply, and their manipulation lies in making you feel wrong for thinking independently. You might know a conformist, a coworker who never challenges the boss, a friend who follows the crowd, a partner who demands you conform to their expectations. Their silent control stifles your autonomy, threatening your ability to think for yourself. Picture a coworker named Lisa. She nods at every directive from the boss, even when it's unfair. When you suggest a better approach, she frowns, saying, "Just do what they say. It's easier." Her compliance isn't just passivity, it's pressure, making you feel isolated for questioning. That's the conformist's manipulation, rooted in Arendt's warning about unthinking obedience enabling harm. Their silent control pushes you to follow without thinking, eroding your autonomy. Or consider a friend named Tom. He's always chasing trends from fashion to opinions, never questioning what's popular. When you express a different view, he scoffs, "Why can't you just go with it?" His need to conform isn't just personal. It's a demand that you join the crowd, silencing your individuality. Or imagine a partner named Sarah who insists you follow family traditions without question. "It's how we do things," she says, her tone firm, dismissing your ideas. That's the conformist's silent manipulation, pressuring you to obey to avoid conflict. To recognize a conformist, watch for blind agreement. Do they follow rules or trends without question? Do they pressure you to conform, making you feel wrong for dissenting? Notice their discomfort with independent thought. It's a red flag. To protect your autonomy, question norms. Ask, "Why is this the rule?" And stand firm in your reasoning. Don't let their compliance guilt you into silence. Document their pressure. Note conversations or emails where they push you to conform, with dates, in case their influence escalates. If their obedience feels stifling, that's a sign to resist. Have you ever been pressured to follow without thinking? That's the conformist, and you need to take control now. The second silent manipulator is the opportunist. Arendt saw power seekers as exploiting systems for personal gain, often under the guise of normalcy. Opportunists manipulate silently by using every chance to advance themselves, even if it means stepping over you. You might know an opportunist, a colleague who takes credit for your work, a friend who uses your connections, a partner who leverages your success. Their silent control lies in their calculated moves, threatening your autonomy by making you a pawn in their game. Imagine a colleague named Mike. He's friendly, always offering to help with projects, but when your idea succeeds, he tells the boss, "I led that one." His smile is charming, but his actions steal your credit. That's the opportunist's manipulation, using Arendt's banality of evil to exploit without remorse. Their silent control turns your efforts into their gain, leaving you sidelined. Or consider a friend named Emma. She's always asking for favors, introductions to your contacts, help with her resume, but never reciprocates. When you get a promotion, she's quick to say, "Can you put in a word for me?" Her friendliness isn't genuine. It's a calculated move to use your success. Or imagine a partner named James who brags about your achievements to his friends, saying, "We're doing great," but pushes you to share your resources for his benefit. That's the opportunist's silent manipulation, exploiting your trust for their gain. To recognize an opportunist, watch for self-serving behavior. Do they jump on every chance to benefit themselves? Do they use your resources or success without giving back? Notice their timing. Opportunities always seem to favor them. To protect your autonomy, set limits. Say, "I can't help with that," and don't share sensitive resources. Document their actions. Save emails or texts where they take credit or ask for favors, with dates, to protect your interests. If their friendliness feels calculated, that's a sign to resist. Have you ever been used by someone chasing their own gain? That's the opportunist, and you need to protect yourself now. The third silent manipulator is the justifier. Arendt warned that rationalizing harm is a key part of the banality of evil, and justifiers excel at excusing bad behavior, theirs or others, to avoid accountability. They manipulate silently by making you accept harm as normal, eroding your moral compass. You might know a justifier, a coworker who excuses unethical practices, a friend who defends toxic behavior, a partner who rationalizes their mistakes. Their silent control makes you question what's right, threatening your autonomy. Picture a coworker named Sarah. The company cuts corners, overworking the team, and Sarah shrugs, saying, "That's just how business works." When you raise concerns, she dismisses you, saying, "Don't be so dramatic. Everyone does it." Her excuses normalize harm, pressuring you to stay silent. That's the justifier's manipulation, using Arendt's idea of banality to make wrongdoing seem ordinary. Or consider a friend named Tom. He defends a mutual friend's toxic behavior, saying, "He's just stressed, cut him some slack." When you point out the harm, Tom sighs, "You're too sensitive." His justifications protect the wrongdoer, making you doubt your judgment. Or imagine a partner named Lisa who forgets your birthday but says, "I was busy. It's not a big deal." Her excuses minimize your feelings, pushing you to accept neglect. That's the justifier's silent manipulation, normalizing harm to control you. To recognize a justifier, watch for rationalizations. Do they excuse unethical or hurtful behavior? Do they make you feel wrong for calling it out? Notice their dismissive tone. It's a tactic to silence you. To protect your autonomy, trust your moral compass. Call out harm clearly, like, "That's not okay," and don't accept their excuses. Document their justifications. Note conversations or messages with dates to reinforce your stance. If their excuses make you doubt what's right, that's a sign to resist. Have you ever been told harm is just how things are? That's the justifier, and you need to take control now. The fourth silent manipulator is the desensitized. Arendt's work shows how indifference to suffering enables evil, and the desensitized manipulate by ignoring pain, yours or others, to maintain their comfort. Their silence normalizes neglect, threatening your autonomy by making you feel unseen. You might know a desensitized, a coworker who ignores workplace bullying, a friend who shrugs off your struggles, a partner who dismisses your emotions. Their silent control lies in their apathy, draining your sense of worth. Imagine a coworker named Alex. You confide that you're being overworked, and he shrugs, saying, "That's just the job." When you ask for support, he changes the subject, his eyes blank, uninterested. His indifference isn't just passivity, it's manipulation, making you feel your struggles don't matter. That's the desensitized silent control, tied to Arendt's warning about indifference enabling harm. Or consider a friend named Mia. You tell her you're going through a tough breakup, and she responds, "You'll get over it," before scrolling her phone. Her apathy dismisses your pain, leaving you isolated. Or imagine a partner named David, who ignores your stress, saying, "I don't want to deal with this now." His detachment isn't just insensitivity, it's a silent way to control the narrative, keeping you quiet. That's the desensitized's manipulation, eroding your autonomy by ignoring your needs. To recognize the desensitized, watch for apathy. Do they dismiss your struggles or others' pain? Do they avoid emotional conversations? Notice their body language. Blank expressions or disengagement are red flags. To protect your autonomy, seek supportive people who validate your feelings. Don't rely on the desensitized for empathy. Set boundaries like, "I need to talk to someone who listens." Document their indifference. Note instances where they dismiss you, with dates, to recognize the pattern. If their apathy makes you feel invisible, that's a sign to resist. Have you ever felt ignored by someone who should care? That's the desensitized, and you need to protect yourself now. The fifth silent manipulator is the enabler. Arendt's banality of evil highlights how enabling harmful systems or people perpetuates control, and enablers manipulate by supporting toxic behavior through silence or inaction. They don't act themselves but empower manipulators, threatening your autonomy by normalizing danger. You might know an enabler, a friend who stays silent during bullying, a coworker who supports a toxic boss, a partner who excuses their own harmful actions. Their silent control lies in their complicity, making you question your resistance. Picture a friend named Emily. A mutual friend spreads cruel rumors about you, and Emily stays quiet, saying, "I don't want to get involved." Her silence enables the harm, making you feel unsupported. That's the enabler's manipulation, using Arendt's idea of complicity to perpetuate control without acting directly. Their inaction normalizes toxicity, threatening your autonomy. Or consider a coworker named Jake. The boss unfairly targets a teammate, and Jake says, "Just keep your head down, it's not our fight." His silence supports the boss's behavior, pressuring you to comply. Or imagine a partner named Sophie, who excuses her own outburst, saying, "You provoked me," and expects you to accept it. Her enabling of her own toxicity manipulates you into tolerance. That's the enabler's silent control, allowing harm to persist. To recognize an enabler, watch for inaction. Do they stay silent when they should speak up? Do they excuse toxic behavior in themselves or others? Notice their avoidance. It's a tactic to maintain the status quo. To protect your autonomy, challenge their silence. Say, "Your inaction enables this," and distance yourself if they don't change. Document their complicity. Note instances where they enable harm, with dates, to clarify the pattern. If their silence normalizes toxicity, that's a sign to resist. Have you ever felt betrayed by someone's refusal to act? That's the enabler, and you need to take control now. Let's bring this together. These 5 silent manipulators, the conformist, the opportunist, the justifier, the desensitized, the enabler, are not just quirks. They're threats Hannah Arendt warned us about, rooted in the banality of evil, where unthinking obedience and indifference enable control. They're the coworker who pressures you to comply, the friend who uses your success, the partner who excuses harm, the colleague who ignores your pain, the acquaintance who enables toxicity. Their silent manipulation is real, threatening your autonomy, your freedom, your sense of self. But you have the power to recognize them, to protect yourself, to resist their influence before it's too late. Start with awareness. Know these silent manipulators and their tactics. The conformist demands obedience, question their rules. The opportunist exploits, guard your resources. The justifier excuses harm, trust your moral compass. The desensitized ignores pain, seek supportive allies. The enabler enables toxicity, challenge their silence. Assert your independence by questioning norms, saying no to unfair demands, and standing firm in your values. Document their behavior. Save texts, emails, or notes of manipulative actions with dates and details to protect yourself if their control escalates. Trust your instincts. If someone's silence feels oppressive, if their inaction enables harm, don't ignore it. You don't have to be their pawn. You can recognize the danger, protect your autonomy, and take control now. You're not alone. Maybe you're thinking of someone right now, someone whose silence pressured you, whose indifference hurt you, whose complicity enabled harm. Have you seen these silent manipulators in your life? Have you felt their control tightening its grip? Share your story in the comments. Tell us about the coworker who pushed you to comply, the friend who ignored your pain, the partner who excused their toxicity. Your experience could help someone else recognize the red flags they're missing. The more we share, the more we learn to protect ourselves. If you want to dive deeper into Hannah Arendt's philosophy, the silent manipulators you can't ignore, and how to take control of your autonomy, hit that subscribe button. Danger Radar is here to guide you, to help you unmask the threats hiding in silence. Don't let their manipulation control you. Protect your mind now. Stay sharp, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.